Hey guys, welcome back to Easeldoesitstudio. And as you can see, I have a mold out. We're going to be doing some resin today. So my filters came in yesterday. As soon as they came, and I didn't realize I had bought a double pack, and I'm so glad that I did. So my filter got here, so I opened the box right away, and I'm like, okay, I'm going down. So I changed the filter. When I pulled the other one out, oh my God, it was disgusting, guys. Oh my God. I'm surprised I wasn't having more issues than I was having. So I took it out. I did take a picture of it, so I'm going to try to remember to put it in at the end of this video. So stay tuned for the end photos. So I have the new one in. I ran it on max from yesterday until just now. I just turned it down to medium, which is where I usually keep it. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be back on track and everything. So what we're going to do today is, I don't know if you remember, a little while back, I had done a couple of Halloween bowls and I had used skulls for like the base. Well, I love that bowl. It's just a perfect size for the end of my counter, just to keep candy, you know, like little mini Snickers, or sometimes you just want a little something. So that works perfect. So I'm like, okay, I need something to get through like the holidays and winter. So instead of making it, quote, Christmas, I'm going to do the bowl in the eye candy. I'm going to use up what's left in here. I'll probably have to add another blue to it because there's not much left. So I'm going to have to order some more. And then I'm going to do the iceberg blue. So this takes 10 ounces. So I'm going to do 5 ounces of the light blue and 5 ounces of the darker blue. And we're just going to kind of try to swirl it. Now, usually when I'm doing like a marble, I will use pigment paste. This one, I don't mind if the colors merge. So I'm using the 2 Micas. And I'm not going to use any glue, just because I want to use some of these wintry stickers. These are the UV TTF stickers. And I want to put them on like around the outside of the bowl. So I don't know how many we'll use, but I pulled out a bunch depending on which color pulls more. So we're going to do that. Then I'm going to glitter the inside of these like I did on my other video showing you when I did the Christmas balls. So I'm just going to do these, but I'm going to mix these 2 glitters together. This is Sapphire. I got this at Michael's a long time ago. And this one, I have no clue what the name is, but so I'm going to mix the 2 glitters together and do the insides of the balls. So I figured I'd have the dark and the light glitter on the balls. And then we're going to adhere them with the cap end kind of like pointing out, up, you know, just, I don't know. When we get to that part, we'll do it. So I did mix up, let me get my gloves on. I mixed up my 10 ounces and I'm going to divide it. So we're going to move the stickers out of our way for right now because we don't need those until the end. Excuse me. We'll move that and we're going to get our colors mixed. So I've got my 2 cups that I'm going to put my, I'm going to put 5 and 5. So it's, you know, divided up equally. And then we're going to color them. I'm going to run it through the debubbler. And then we will pour. So I haven't quite decided if I'm just going to do you know, dump a little of one color, dump a little of another color, or if I'm going to do it as a dirty pour. I haven't quite figured that out, so I'm like, well, you know, we have up until I'm getting ready to pour it. So, all right, I'm just wiping my paddles off. Oh crap, you know what I just noticed? I have to mix up more resin, guys. It's 14 ounces. Why was I thinking 10? All right, so let me get 4 more ounces, and we're gonna do that, and I'll add white to that one. So let's get these mixed up. That way I can get these in the debubbler while I mix up the other 4 or 5 ounces. All right, that's a plan. Goodness gracious. All right, so, oh, hang on. I do want to scrape my sides and my bottom. Sometimes I haven't done this and I haven't had a problem, but I don't want to take a chance. And I have something in there. Hang on. There we go. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't supposed to be there. So thank you guys for all your patience and all your prayers and well wishes between my toe and my rash. I'm like, I'm a mess, guys. I am a mess. Oh, and then you want to hear a stupid thing I did this morning? Well, it was lunchtime. I make me a sandwich, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to have some lunch. You know, then I'm going to get my shower taken, go down, and get my project started so I can get back on track. So I take a bite of a barbecue chip. The thing's like, you know, like sometimes a chip will crack and break when you like bite a piece of it, because it was a big chip. I wasn't going to throw it all in my mouth. And a crumb went in my eyeball. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? So I couldn't see. I had to go in the bathroom, put water in my eye. I am like, oh my word. Is this how today is going to go already? So yeah, be prepared for anything, because you guys know how messy I am, how accident prone I am. All right, so we've got our, oops. Whoa, see what I mean? All right, so I do just want to scrape out, because I'm gonna mix the other. Well, no, I'll probably use a cup, but so that's all right. So let's get. Wonder how the blue glitter in here would look in the bowl. All right, and I'm just gonna dump what is left in here because like I am out. But I gotta save this package because I want to get a big container of this because I like this color. And this is through Eye Candy. I do have a discount code for the Eye Candy pigments. All right, so look at how pretty that is. Yeah, I definitely need more color. All right, so let's get And that one's just too bright. All right, we're gonna mix the two blues. I don't know. That's the blue that I wanted, but or do I do this one here? All right, let's pick the No Con blue, because that's a darker, definitely a darker blue. All right, hopefully that'll be enough. So these two are pretty similar. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be happy with that color. Okay. Whew. That was like, I want a dark, dark, dark blue. Oh yeah, that's pretty. It reminds me of like blue silk. My camera doesn't even pick up the gorgeousness of this luscious color. It is, oh my goodness. And I might add some of this in there. I'm still thinking on that. But in the meantime, let's get the iceberg blue in this container. One. We'll do that. Yeah, so I had to retape my toe today. I didn't go to my appointment on Monday because my toe is straight and there's not much more they can do, and I can't keep racking bills up with because I have no insurance. So I'm like, no, I'm not going. I'll just keep an eye on it. And yeah, I think these two are gonna go do good together. All right, and that looks good. All right, let me, so if I add the glitter to this, I'm gonna have to use the glue because I do not want the glitter to just sink. So I'm hoping this will just give it like a little bit of a sparkle, and I think it's gonna, but we're definitely gonna need more. All right. So it almost looked like stars in the sky. All right, I think that's gonna be enough. So I'm gonna put 5 drops of clear Elmer's glue. And if you guys don't know, this doesn't do anything to the resin, but it does suspend your glitter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so Daniel Cooper had come up with this, and what works for me is 1 drop per ounce is usually what works. I see how gloopy that gets. So then your glitter doesn't sink. All right, so I'm gonna put half of this into 1 cup because I'm gonna run this through the debubbler, and and this way here, it will, that's, okay, that's about 2.5 each. All right, I'm just gonna leave the stick in that one. And I'm not gonna do the glitter in this one. I'll just pour half in this cup because I don't have a vacuum chamber. I have just the Let's Resin and the Resiners debubbler. So I find 2.5 to 3 ounces per cup debubbles really, really good. So I'm gonna get this in the debubbler. I will get my other 4 ounces mixed, and we're gonna do, I think now we're gonna incorporate a little bit of white with that 4 ounces. So I will be back when I get that 4 ounces all mixed up. Okay, so I got these debubbled and I mixed up the 4 ounces. And what I ended up doing is I ended up using this snowflake, which is like a real sparkly, it's almost like a crushed crystal. So I put that in and I did a little bit of ghost blue. So that is in the debubbler right now. And I didn't put glue in that one. So I don't know, we'll have to wait, we'll have to see what happens. I'm just gonna move this out of my way, reposition my chair so I don't have a oopsie-doo. And let's just get this kind of wiped off from any glitters that might have floated in. Which I don't really think it will matter much, but you know. All right. So that is ready to go. I'm just gonna give my cups a little spray. And this is 91% alcohol, guys. Yeah. That glitter, that snowflake one is making a lot of bubbles. So I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna add it a few more minutes. I'm gonna let that go a little bit longer. Okay, so that is done. I'm gonna keep those separate just so that we can, I don't know, try to get them in there a little bit. I don't want a lot of the white, but all right, so let's spray this. I'm just making sure I got some alcohol down in and around that to hopefully deter any bubbles. All right, so and I'm gonna move those out of my way because I can already see what's gonna happen. I'm just gonna give that another squirt. And this is still a little bit transparent So that's why I poured that one kind of throughout and see what kind of look we get. I have not a clue. I do want some of this to kind of run down the sides. Like I said, it's probably, everything's probably going to merge together, but we won't know until we get it demolded how these colors are going to work together. Get my spatula here. So I ended up only doing the 4 ounces and hope and pray that my measurements are correct on this bowl. Because for some reason I was thinking it was 10 ounces. So like I said, I got no rhyme or reason why I'm pouring it the way I am, but I'm just pouring all of that one. Because it's thin, it's not thin, but it's a little bit more on the transparent side. I figured if I did one big pour of it, we would at least see it, is my hopes. And I'm doing the one with the glitter so that the very bottom is going to be the one with no glitter. So then we won't have a rough, hopefully, underneath. Because sometimes when you do glitter in your pieces, on the bottom you can feel it, and I don't like that. So this is my way of combating it. Hopefully. Keyword, hopefully. All right. And now so I could have used 1 more ounce, but because this is for me, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll just have to do a little bit more trimming, which is fine. So I'm going to change that number on this bowl right now. Well, as soon as I clean my hands off here. Okay. Wipe this. So you can already see how those colors are merging together. We do look like we got a little bit of swirlies on the sides, so that's good. First day back doing resin, and I'm trying to keep my thing clean, but you know, I don't think that is going to happen. Okay. So I'm gonna let this sit. And I am just gonna run this, because this is where sometimes those micro bubbles will get trapped. And now I can't tell because I have that glitter, which is making it look like, you know, micro bubbles, but, all right. All right, so I'm gonna leave this for probably an hour and a half, and then I'm going to put it in my curing machine for 2 hours. And then when that is done, I will be back and we will see what this looks like. So from what I'm seeing on the sides, it looks kind of cool. So I want to show you something. I ordered some more jewelry stuff, so I'll show you that on a jewelry video, but I also ordered these. I know Little Windows has them, but I've never ordered from Little Windows. So, and these had quite a few. It has 2, 3, 4, 6, and 8 millimeters. And what they are is, if you want to like make a hole in something that doesn't have like a hole in it, you know, like if you wanted to take a coaster and make it, say an ornament, you could definitely put these in. And what they do is they just suction cup to the mold, and then you pour the resin and you have a perfect hole. So, and my little ones are all, and this one here has like a little, oh, crap. Hang on. It did have, why would you do that, Michelle? Right over your project. Why? I'm just saying. Why would you do that? Okay. So yeah, so it's got this little thing. I haven't figured that out yet, but so yeah, we will be using these down the road. So when I saw them, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get them, and then I have them. So yeah. Let me get a wipe and wash my sticky hands here. Okay, so let's hope and pray this looks pretty and my hands don't break out. They shouldn't, because I got the filter going. So, alrighty, I'm going to put the filter back on high, and that way there I'm making sure all the fumes are gone, and we'll go there. I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, so it's been like 2 hours. I just put my bowl in the curing machine, and if you hear background noise, it's because I have the curing machine going and I still have my purifier on high. So I just figured I would show you how to do these in case you missed the other video. which you can always go back and watch. I believe it's the one right before this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these two glitters together to see what it looks like before I commit. You know, because all right, let's just kind of, all right, I think that's gonna look good. So I'm gonna put a bunch of this one. Oh, might have had too much of one here. Let's mix it up and see what we get. And then if I have extra, then I can just put it in something else later on. Okay, I like that. So, if you've got polyacrylic, use that, but I don't, so we are going to use hairspray. And any liquid hairspray is gonna work, guys. It doesn't have to be, the only one I have is Paul Mitchell because that's what I use for a hairspray when I do my hair. So I'm just gonna pour. We'll pour a good amount in the first one because then we might have enough to do all of the balls. And I just put my finger over it. Make sure the whole ball is coated. And then we're going to just pour the extra into this ball. And then I'm going to flip that upside down and let the excess drain out. All right, so let's... And then we'll just put that one upside down. And I don't know if I'm gonna have enough, but we'll try. And because these balls are clear, you can really see if you've missed any areas. And we did have enough. And I just drained the rest back into my bottle. And this is just Paul Mitchell Fast Dry Sculpting Spray. It's just a workable hairspray, so that's what I use. And then we are going to take our little mixture here. And then we are just going to coat. Because remember, these are only going to be the feet of the bowl. So I wanted to kind of incorporate the same color theme that we were using. And then I'll take whatever's extra, if I can, no, bang it out, and then we'll just set our ball there. And we will pour some glitter in this ball. This way, by the time the bowl is cured in a couple of hours, these will be nice and dry on the inside, and we can cap them and then glue them. So I think what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to actually glue the this piece onto the ball. do this last one. So I was just going to do this off camera, and then I was like, you know what? I might as well just film it so that way you can see the whole process in case the bowl turns out really good. It looked really good going into the curing machine, so that's always a plus. All right. And that is it. So we let them sit, and then when I come back, these will now become feet. So I will see you in just a minute. Okay, guys, so we've got our bowl done. I just glued the two top pieces, and I saved that one to show you what I'm doing and what I'm using. So let's get this bowl out. So no micro bubbles. Oh, a few I can see, but that's okay. All right, I'm just kind of peeling this back. Just trying to get it up over the bump. There we go. Oh, okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. So that is the inside. I'm really liking the outside. Okay. So I am going to have to trim this a little bit. Because it could have used that extra little bit. But it's for me, so it's not that big of a deal. All right, so let's see. Let's get our stickers here. Move this out of my way. And we gotta see which ones are gonna look better with the color scheme. These ones might be a little too dark. And I am going to cut the bottoms. All right, so let's try these ones. These are a little bit lighter. Let's see here. Yeah, I think these are going to work a little bit better. So I'm just gonna just cut some of the shapes out. Okay, so there's one. Let's see, we can do this one. Because red will go with it, so that'll match. Let's see. 1, 2. Yeah, no, maybe not that one. And these, I believe I got on Temu. I'm not 100% sure. I got glue all over my fingers here. That's 3. Four. Let's just kind of see here what they're gonna kind of look like. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3, 4. So we're gonna need 6. We are gonna need 6. And let me just see here which ones I've got. So we have a big one and a little one. And this one's different than this, so we'll just do this one. I thought they were identical, but they're not. Okay, so let's see if we can get these on without looking weird. Because I'm hoping these ones are gonna just wrap around the bottom. And like I said, it's for me, so I don't care if there's a few little scratches in it. All right, let's rub this down and see if we can get this. Okay, so that one looks pretty good. Trying to think how I can mark them. All right, so let's see. Hey, there we go. And that way I can kind of see my placement. Of where they're gonna be. All right. Okay, so some reason I think that one's got to go there. There. All right, so I think, all right, let's do this opposite one right here. Get my stickers to release. Okay, so these would work better on something flat, but I really like them, and I didn't have anything else that I thought would look cute on this bowl. So that's what we're using. We're just using what we got. And I'm just gonna rip that little piece off. Okay. Because I want to do the stickers before before I put the balls on, because then it's gonna have to sit. Oh my word. All right, it's easier to try to peel the front off than the back. Oh, that's where it's going, because it kind of went down before I really could place it. So I'm trying to get the top to be as smooth as possible. And then the bottom, we'll just put it down on the bottom. It's on the bottom anyways. Oh, my goodness. Get them out of our way here. All right, so and then I will get pictures of it all set up with the little candy in it. It's gonna be so cute. All right, so and the only thing with these is if they stick down, you're screwed. You gotta leave it. I'll just pop them bubbles after. Because these, once they're stuck, they are stuck. Lost a few little snowflakes, but that's fine. And where is my knife? So I'm just gonna make a hole. Yeah, so that's pretty cute so far. And what we got? 2 more. So this way here, I figured I could leave it out for the winter, even though it has the Christmas balls on the bottom. It's more wintry than Christmassy. You know what I mean? So it can be used for either. But this way here, I'm going to get a longer use out of it. Oh, and I did want to let you know, I am putting a sale on my website. Pretty much everything is going to be 20% off. Just to honor the, the Black Friday deals, and I'm going to run it from the 18th to the end of the month. So stay tuned for that. And let me see. It might be a little close on this side, but that's okay. If I would have thought, I could have measured and, made little dots or whatever, but I didn't. You know me, I just wing it. Especially when it's for me, I just wing it. There we go. Okay, so we have got our little snowmen going around our little bowl where we have the light and the dark, and that little bit of glitter kind of looks like snow. So then we're gonna glue our balls kind of like that. I don't want, I might actually even put them out more. I don't want these all be going in the same direction. I want some sticking out, maybe one down. So that's my thought anyhow. Now, let me just kind of flip it over so we can see kind of how it's gonna sit. Oh, that is gonna be cute. Okay, so that's gonna work. I figured I better check and make sure it's gonna work first, right? All right, so I am using this. I got this on Amazon. I will put the link in the description below. This stuff, it's like super glue, but this is a rapid cure. It makes an instant adhesive. So the only thing you have to do is you got to be careful where you're putting it, because sometimes it will leave a little bit of a white residue. But I figured where it's going on the bottom and I'm only going to spray underneath, I should be fine. So on the balls, what I did is I didn't spray any of that. I just put this around the ball, the lid, or whatever you want to call it here. Like that. And then stuck my little pitot in like that. And then that will, overnight, will glue and harden. So now I've got to figure out where I want these. So I'm going to put them kind of like in between the stickers. So I'm going to put one here. So I'm going to put some of this glue down. And I'm hoping and praying that this works. So you put the glue down, and then you spray this, and then you hold it for a second, and it's secure. That's what I like about this. All right, I'll have that one going down. I can't put them up too much because it will mess with the way it's gonna sit. So that one's kind of down. I'll put this one straight out. And I'm putting a good enough area that, you know, it's gonna, okay. Now, I didn't think to see if it was gonna work all right with the balls, but it seems to be. And you can see the little bit of white on that one, probably because I sprayed it a little too heavy. All right, so this one is gonna go like right about there. So once you spray it, you just kind of hold it. For a minute or two. So we have our balls on. And we have our bowl. But you know what? I think I'm gonna need another one. Hang on. Let me go grab a ball. All right, I grabbed a ball, but I don't know. I didn't position them very well, guys. All right, let's just see. You know what? We're gonna do it. We are gonna do it. Just because it's gonna bug me. All right, so we're just gonna put our little bit of hairspray in. So, all right, put that like that for now. And I'm going to mix up just a little bit more glitter here. Just to be on the safe side. All right. Just move that out of the way. And just dump the extra out in the trash. And I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. Okay. And we'll put that one going this way. Okay. Now we have our bowl with our little Christmas balls as our stand. So it doesn't look too lopsided underneath. You know, and looking at it like this, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too unproportionate, but this has a space, so I'll just put that towards the back. And that'll do it. So guys, that does it for our project for today. I'm so happy I'm back down in my craft room. I've been making jewelry. I made this a little while ago, and then I made these. I made one for my husband, and I'm going to make one for both my sons and my grandsons, and I'll make smaller ones for their girlfriends like this. The guys is a little bit bigger gauge, but then I made this one. The only thing, when I made this, I put this piece, I put the wires on the back, on the front instead of underneath, like this one. So this one looks, you know, nice and finished here. So I'm gonna try and flip the wires over, trim them, and turn them the other way. It'll just make it a little bit smaller, but I think it'll still be fine. And that's made out of memory wire. So yeah, I'm going to make a few more so I can, you know, master it, because I've mastered these now. I can pop these out really quick. I'm still working on this ring, and these ones I pretty much got down. So, and then I came up with another different design that's not so high for the danglies. So yeah, but and I'm not going to do anything to seal these stickers, because like I said, it's more of like just a candy dish anyways. So, but I think it turned out pretty cool. Alrighty guys, I will get you some final pics, and I will get you the links for this, the bowl, the ornaments. I got those on Amazon. If I can find those, I'll link those as well. The stickers, they're on Temu, so I don't know if I can find the same ones. But, yeah, what I can find, I will put in the description. Oh, and I had somebody ask me on my last video. All right, where did I put it? Oh, right here. On the Christmas balls, and they wanted to know which the red was. So I think this was the red that they were talking about, and it's called Black and Red. And it's just by Recollections. It's a specialty polyester glitter, and I got it at Michael's. So that's the only thing I can tell you with that. And if it was the other red, if it was this one, the solid red, this is the one that it's called Garnet. And this is also from Michael's, the Recollection. So, yeah, that one's my favorite. Alrighty, guys, I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.